Welcome to lesson 79 of A Course in Miracles. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. And with this lesson, the Course takes us to what the problem is. The idea of separation. And I know that it's a bit hard to grasp because we've been, as I said, as we've been looking at the other lessons before, we are looking at a world with our eyes, with our physical eyes, a world that whatever I see is what I believe. So same with our problems. You know, we can go on and look at different situations that we are finding very conflictive, we call problems, and we believe that that is the reason why we're not happy. And as the lesson says today, we can go on forever, really, because, you know, one goes and the other comes back, and then we got another something else, and then, so it looks like if we're always dealing with something. What the Course says, especially with this lesson, is that we're only dealing with one so-called problem. And it's the fact that we have separated from the mind of God, that we have separated from the source. And this is something that we can't. Yes, of course, we have to have an intellectual understanding of what this means. You know, we're saying that we're light, and we're saying that we're a spark of this main light. But then I can't feel or see my light. I can only see my body and my problems. How does this work? And that's why we need to continue connecting within. And finding that space within that overrides all our beliefs, all our thoughts, and the illusion that we live in. So we live in an illusion that is created by our minds, by our thoughts, by our beliefs, by our history, by our experiences. And we keep projecting the same picture over and over again. So like the Course has been guiding us to look at that we do live in the past, recreating the same relationships with different faces, recreating the same issues or the same problems with in different circumstances that make us believe that is different. But the truth is that there is one problem, as the Course says, and this is that we believe that we're separated from the source. And because we believe that we are in this body and separated from the source, we feel unsafe, unprotected, unloved, you know, invisible, not respected, not valued. You know, we feel all this because we are disconnected, and we are sort of floating around in this reality, bumping, you know, with other bodies, other relationships, work, all this illusion, this illusion. The truth is held within ourselves. And when this silence and this connection within myself, I can connect to that truth. And the moment I open my eyes and I start seeing and connecting to my world according to what I see, then I lose myself again. Because I open my eyes and I see a problem, and okay, well, this Putin there, and there's the war, and oh my God, there's still people wearing masks, so there's COVID, and oh yes, people are losing jobs, and the petrol is going up, and and this is just to name a few outside our lives. But then we look at our lives, our closest relationships. So and so is sick, and so is having conflict, and this relationship is struggling, and I'm getting and I've got issues in these relationships, and that's another level. And then I look at my body, and oh my God, my mind is driving me crazy. I don't know how to handle my emotions. My body is ill. There's no ending to this. So the only way to go about all this is connecting within, finding that space of silence and true connection with the self and the divine, and from there, be in the world, really. So this is a reprogramming from being from here out in the world to being from here inwards in my inner world, and from my inner world understanding and reprogramming my outer world. So it's totally different to what we've ever been taught or thought. So the lesson today, lesson 79. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. And we ask for this, to find some peace, because if our aim is to find peace, and we're trying to sort of cover holes, like they say, that saying, oh, well, there's a hole, so I'm going to cover, and then there's another hole, and we'll never finish, because there will something in these 3 dimensions, there will always be something else. So let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. The problem of separation, which is really the only problem, has already been solved, yet the solution is not recognized because the problem is not recognized. And here it also talks about we need to acknowledge what the problems are so we can surrender them, we can let them go. And we've been looking at that from before, like I cannot let go of something that I don't know that I'm carrying. So what is the problem? That I feel separated from the rest, that I feel unloved, that I feel lonely, that I feel that I have to do everything on my own. Everything takes us back to the original problem of feeling separated. But not separated from others, but separated from divinity. Separated from our Father. If I am a child of God, then God is my Father. As I always say, not the religious God. But practice, contemplate, connect to the sadness of feeling separated. And surrender that to the divine. And we'll see you tomorrow for lesson 8.